Hello my love, it's Nicole Charnel here. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can see from today's title, we're talking about reading and more specifically my reading journey. If you're new here, my name is Nicole Charnel and I do videos on healthy intentional living, and that is just living your healthy life with intention. So how did we get to reading? Well, I happen to just love reading. I love it. As you can see, I have a favorite. And it's Harry Potter. I just love the Harry Potter story and I will never not love it. So it is what it is if you feel some type of way about it. But I wanted to talk about this because I am going to start a book talk. Talking about books, I want to talk about books, I want to share and all that. However, I don't want to change my whole channel over to books. So I wanted to find a way to do that without, like I said, changing my whole channel. And this is how I decided to do it. Starting a book talk and then every once in a while doing videos about reading. So that's what we're doing. I did a reading vlog last week or so, maybe like 2 weeks ago for Christmas, and I really enjoyed filming that video as well as sharing it with you guys, and it got pretty good response, I feel like, you know, based off of what my videos were currently getting at that time. So yeah, I decided to continue on, and like I said, like I love reading. I've always loved reading, and now like reading and sharing it with the book girlies on the internet is just, it's a thing. And first of all, and there's book guys, okay? There's book dudes out here reviewing books and talking about books. And I love that. I love that for us. And I most recently started following two people. One, her name is Shaughnessy Schroeder. I'll link her channel down below. I just love her vibe. I talked about her in my monthly reset. She's one of my favorites. She's my favorite YouTuber of the month of December. And I just love her vibe. And then she has a best friend, where one of her best friends, her name is Alex. I think her channel is Alexandra Hurley. She got encouraged from Shaughnessy to start a book. Hello?
Did I make the thing? So
Hi. You interrupted me and I honestly don't know what I was talking about. So here we are. Got into reading because of her friend Shaughnessy, and now she, of course, she loves it and she's in it. And then on top of that, like she starts connecting with people. She made a YouTube channel, and she just feels like so welcome by the book community. So I love that for her, and I think that like that's amazing. And then I was like, if I have the urge to talk about books, like why can't I do that? Like that's what I'm gonna do. But like I said, I just wanted to make this video kind of like an introduction. Jump right into the video. I want to talk about a few different things. I want to talk about how I got a Kindle. I got a Kindle for Christmas. This is my cute little Kindle, my cute little Kindle baby. I'll show you an up close little picture of her, but yeah, this is my Kindle and I'm freaking in love and I'm just hooked, and I'm currently reading a book on here, but I'll tell you that when I get to my January reads. But first I want to talk about my December reads. So I'm going to pull up my Goodreads because I put them on there. I read books. So I do update my Goodreads. I have it linked down below in my description box if you're interested in being a friend with me on Goodreads. I would love that. So check me out, my Goodreads down below. But so we just want to talk about the books that I read in December. Hopeless I read in November. So starting with Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So this is my first Kennedy Ryan book and I am in love. I loved this book so much. It was so good. It was such a good story. I gave it a 5-star on Goodreads. Now I am new to ranking books, so you know, take that from what you will. Now that I think about it though, I think I would make it a 4-star only because I don't think I'd ever read it again. I feel like 5 stars should be remained for books that you would read again. And I can't see myself reading this book again just because like the trauma in it like kind of hurts my heart, and I feel like I already have like enough real life issues going on that I don't need more trauma to be thinking about and upsetting me. So let's just not do that. But but I did love this book. It was a great story. The romance was really good. It was a Black romance, and it was really good book. It was like a contemporary romance. Next I read, so this was December, so I wanted to read Christmas books. If you haven't seen my reading vlog, I had never read a Christmas book before, so I had three that I wanted to read, and the first one was The Holidays, and oh my god, I wish it was the last one because this book was so good. On Goodreads, I gave it a 5-star, and yes, I could see myself reading this book again Christmas time. It was such a good book. I actually read it on my phone, but this is before, because I read it before I got my Kindle. So I just read it on the Kindle app on my phone, but it was really good. It was a cute story. Some people said that actually, like when I explained the story to them, they were like, oh, there's a Hallmark movie that sounds just like that. So that those are the vibes. Like it was so cute. The main character, she was like bubbly and just adorable. And then the main male character was grumpy. So it was a grumpy sunshine romance. And then there was something devastating that happened in the very beginning of the book that kind of like sets the tone for this is where we're going. And of course it has a lovely happy ending. I love that book. Next I read Love in Winter Wonderland. This one was a YA read, and I usually don't like YA books. So I was a little hesitant about this, but literally the pretty pink cover got me. It got me in the bookstore. And I was like, well, we're gonna read this. We're gonna check it out. I purposely was buying books because like I said, I had never read a Christmas read before, and I couldn't find The Holidays. It's the only reason why I didn't buy that one. I would have bought it, and yeah, without like, I mean, it's on Amazon, but I was at the bookstore and I found the other two. So this was really cute. It was about a boy. He's really the main character. His family bookstore is going under, and they have to find a way to save it. In comes the female main character. She is going to art school and she needs a job to kind of help her pay for art school, and she stumbles along the bookstore. Now, does someone get a job at a bookstore that's about to go under? Well, you'll find out in the book. But this was really cute. I rated this 4 stars. I couldn't see myself reading it again, but there was some really cute elements about this book that I loved. This is the book that I did the reading vlog on, so if you want to know what those cute elements are, make sure you check out that reading vlog. But this was a really nice story, and for YA, it wasn't super young. Like it had some good like adult points in it. And that book was by Abiola Bello. The Holidays was by Brittany Cherry. See, this is something I gotta get used to when I'm doing reviews, because I have to say the author. Like, you gotta say the author, girl. Last Christmas book that I read was Royal Holiday. I wish I could get this sticker off all the way, but whatever. This is by Jasmine Gullery. This is my first Jasmine Gullery book, but as you can see behind me, I literally have like 6 of them on my shelf. But that's for a story for another day. This was a cute, but I ranked this 3 stars. It was okay. It was just cute. And I think I also rated it 3 stars because the main characters were older. They were like in their 50s. So I wasn't like super related to them, but it wasn't super far off either, where it was just like, I can't relate at all, because there were struggles in here that, you know, me as an adult and like the woman's a single mom, like things that I could relate to. This was also written in 3rd person. I feel like this is and it can't be, it really can't be, but this is the first time where I noticed the 3rd person writing to be annoying to me. It's another reason why I rated it 3 stars. But the story was cute. The female main character goes to London with her daughter, who has a job over Christmas, and her daughter doesn't want to be without her for Christmas, so she takes her mom with her, and her mom ends up finding a love interest, which is a man who works for the company that they're working for within the book. And yeah, they just develop a cute like little holiday romance and a holiday love interest situation. So it was adorable, and it had a happy ending, of course. So I wouldn't read it again. I would recommend it though. Like, it was a good book. Lastly, I read or listened to Twisted Hate. This is number 3 in the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. And I listened to it on audiobook. I gave this 3 stars. Now, I loved BookTube Twisted Games. Honestly, out of all 3, I've only read 3 of the Twisted books. The second book is the one that I would read again. Actually, I might even reread the first one again, but I liked the second one the best. Twisted Hate, I just couldn't get with the like the main female and male character, like how they didn't like each other, and they literally didn't like each other for no reason. Like it was like she had a reason to not like him, but he had zero reason to not like her. And it was just like, okay, well, we could have resolved this years ago, but now y'all going on hating each other, and now here we are having hate sex. Like it's just not, it's not okay. So I rated this one 3 stars. It was okay. It was alright. Like I said, I'm pretty new to like reading books, but I have been updating my Goodreads pretty consistently because I like doing it. I like going on there and like adding books to like that I want to read, and then updating when I've read books and all that. So now moving on to my January TBR. I posted on my TikTok the books that I wanted to read. There were 4 of them, but I forgot 2. Because one I'm currently reading now, which is House of Sky and Breath. This book is massive. It's massive. It is, oh, look at this. First of all, this art is beautiful. And this is actually not my book. I think these are acknowledgement. Oh, it's an epilogue. Okay, so the epilogue goes into like page 800. It's like 800 pages. Like 800 on the dot. I just didn't want to read too much because I'm not done yet. I think that the audiobook was 28 hours. 28 hours. And I'm currently have 4 hours left. So I'm pretty sure it was 27 hours and 42 minutes. Yes, 28 hours. And I currently have 4 hours left. So I'm getting into the heart of the story. We're pretty much at the end for that point. But this is pretty good. It's okay. Sarah J. Maas, I just feel like she's doing too much with this book. I didn't fall in love with it like I fell in love with the core of Thorn and Roses. I'm just gonna be honest. I like this book. It's just so wordy. That's why it's so thick. Like there's so many things and like so many thoughts that are being had that I feel like they don't need to be explained. Like they really don't. And like there's so many points where there's like multiple things happening, and I'm just like, there's no way that these people are having a whole conversation while this man is over here having a breakdown. Like it just doesn't make sense. So, but it is a fantasy book, and I think because it's a fantasy book, that's why you can take those liberties to do stuff like that, because it is fantasy. Like the thought of like, oh, 2 things are happening at once because, oh, it's really only spanning like 2 seconds and people are really thinking these things. You know what I mean? Love fantasy. I feel like you'll love this book. It is more of a fantasy than it is a romance. Like the main story is about the world. Like it's about Crescent City. It's about House of Sky and Breath. Like what's going on there, their conflicts and all that. But then there is some romance as well added in. So the 3rd of this book comes out at the end of January. I'm not gonna buy it, but like I said, this isn't even my copy. I borrowed it from my friend, and then I ended up getting Audible because I just couldn't read it. Like it's so hefty. I started reading the first one and I couldn't get past all the world building. It's a very heavy world building book. Like in comparison to A Court of Thorn and Roses, like A Court of Thorn and Roses was simple compared to this. Simple, okay? And that book kind of does get into more world building as it goes on, but this right here, honestly, it just makes my head hurt thinking about it and trying to explain what's happening. It's a lot. Still, I'm enjoying the story as much as I can with the amount of talking that's happening. That I want to read this month is actually, I'm reading it on my Kindle and I've started already. It's called A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. Scarlett St. Clair. This book I did borrow from the library, and then I got my Kindle for Christmas. I borrowed this from the library about a month ago now. It's about to come up on the return, so that's another reason why I got it on the Kindle. And then also I have Kindle Unlimited, so this book is included in there. However, this is a first in a series. I'm 11% in, so I'm not far at all. But I mainly, like I said, been reading it on my Kindle. And I love this thing. I love this thing. I might do a Kindle review maybe after a month or so, but I really love this thing. And it's just so, it's just, I love it. I'm here for it. I do read on my phone pretty often, but I do get the point where I like hate reading on my phone, and I'm like, ugh, I don't feel like reading on my phone, but I have to finish the book. But my Kindle so far, I haven't gotten that vibe. I think mainly because it looks like the pages look so much like a book. Like you're holding a device, but the pages look a lot like a book. So I think that's what the appeal is there. The next book on my TBR is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Yeah, by Ashley Poston. This book in 2023 just took off. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of people had it on their best books of 2023. And I literally just happened to see it at the library like last month when I got this other book at the library, and it was available, and I was like, oh dang, like I should get this book because it has such a good rating, not just on Goodreads, but with like booktubers that I watch. So I was like, okay, let's check it out. I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna read it this month. I definitely, within my reading journey and with sharing my reading journey, I think it's important to focus on not having so many books in your TBR that one, it becomes daunting, and that two, that you don't get to enjoy the things that you wanna read. So I think leaving space for items is definitely important. And I'm also an audiobook girly. I love listening to audiobooks, especially when they're not just fiction, but also nonfiction. I think that's the best way for me to consume nonfiction is an audiobook. So that will also help me with my book consumption, and because I can listen to it, and that also cuts the time a little bit in half. Well, not a little bit, a lot of it in half. This book is like a time, what would it really be called? Like a time warp romance, I guess is the best thing I can explain about it, because there's two characters, and one character's in the present and one character is in the past. So yeah, but I believe it's a contemporary romance. It's a romance, not a fiction. This little sticker here that helps me determine that. The next book on my TBR is another Jasmine Guillory read. Guillory? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. By the book, also got a lot of hype in 2023. And once I heard Beauty and the Beast retelling, I was just like, yes. Every Beauty and the Beast retelling I have read, I have loved. A Court of Thorns and Roses has a Beauty and the Beast vibe. What's another book? I have it up here. Not Defy the Night. This series right here by Bridget Kemier? I don't know. A Curse So Dark and Lonely is the first book. This is the third book that was given to me, but I heard it was so good, and it started off a Beauty and the Beast vibe. Oh my gosh, so good. Honestly, every single one that I've read, I love the vibe. This one, it has like bookish feels as well. So there's two characters. The male character is an author who is pretty much in a slump. The female character is sent to help him because she's a publisher, and he has to finish his book, and the way he ropes her in is that she needs to stay with him to finish the book. And it's Grumpy Sunshine. You know, he's the grump, she's the sunshine, and she comes to like help him finish the book. So I'm pretty sure it has a happy ending, but I just want to read this one for the feels, honestly, and to see if it's as good as people exclaim it to be. So I'm really excited about this one. Next book that I want to read in January is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. So this is a Reese Book Club book. I really don't know what that means, because like I said, I'm honestly just getting into the book world, the online book world. But because I've always been a reader, I just didn't know that people shared what they love on the YouTubes and the Instagram and the TikTok, the tickety-tock. I did not know. And now I know. Anyway, I've heard really good reviews on the book, but I've also heard like it's like drama and trauma and love, like all wrapped into one. It is a second chance romance. Yes, it is a second chance romance, and about the two characters. The woman, she's a single mom. I forget how the man comes into play, but I want to leave it that way. I just know the gist of it. And honestly, that's how I enjoy reading. I want to just know the gist of the book. I don't need to know all the like nitty-gritty details. I honestly rarely read the backs of books. I rarely bookshop because I don't like reading the backs of books. I'd rather just kind of like hear about the book and then that's how I read it. I've heard a lot of good things about Tia Williams. She has a book coming out in 2024 that I want to read as well. I don't remember the name of it, but I will put it on the screen if I can find it. I loved Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. That was also a second chance romance. So I'm interested to get into this one. I'm also a little nervous because I've heard it's like a little bit of drama, a little bit of trigger warning. Like you need to look into what the trigger warning are because there's some stuff that goes on in this book. But I've still pretty much only heard good things, and at the end of the day, you'll love the fact that you read this book because you'll love it. Yeah, this will be also read in January. The last book I want to read in January is Woman Evolve. Okay, this book I got from thrift books, thriftbooks.com. I think it was like $4 first of all. And I picked it up because I loved what this says. Break up with your fears and revolutionize your life. Yes, I am here for it. Sarah Jakes Roberts is TD Jakes' daughter, and she wrote this book for women to overcome their fears. On the back it says, it's time to break up with your fears, awaken your potential, and set your purpose in motion. Does it not sound like me? I feel like that, like she's speaking to me. Like I'm out here trying to awaken my potential. I'm out here following my purpose. What? It totally sounds like me. I'm so excited to get into this book. And then I found out that it is on Audible as well. So I got the Audible version. So I'm going to start listening to this as soon as I finish my current audiobook, which is the Crescent City book, but I have like 4 hours left. But I'm going to start listening to this. And then I also have the book. So I am going to annotate this book as well. I believe I want to highlight, I just want to write down the notes and all the good portions and all the good things that are in this book. I have a really good feeling about this. I love self-help books or nonfiction books that will help you better your life. It's going to teach you something. It's going to talk to you in a way that you may not have been talked to kind of like encourage you to do better. I love it. So this is book 5. Yeah, book 5. So kind of sort of 6 because I have the book that I'm finishing, the Crescent City book, but this is book 5. Honestly, that I'm already over. So that is it for my January TBR. Really excited about all these books. I'm also excited to like share my reading and my reading journey here on YouTube, just a little bit, but mainly on TikTok. Everybody who loves to read for enjoyment, and even the people who love to read to learn. I'm a fantasy girly. I love fantasy first, but also romance. I love romance. Not a big fiction reader. I'm gonna be honest. It's either romance or fantasy for me most of the time. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And just to talk about books, I think it's something I enjoy. I enjoy doing it with my friends at work. I enjoy doing it with my regular reading friends, and then like sharing great book recommendations. That's also why I love updating my Goodreads, because like I get people who are like following me on there and I'm following them, and then we can share what we're reading. And even though like we're not talking in real time, I still love that vibe. So I'm here for it. If you want to hear more about books and talk more of books with me, make sure you follow me on my TikTok. I will link it down below, but it's just my name, Nicole Charnel. And thanks for watching this video, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can do so by hitting my face down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.